Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can also get me on my Bitchute channel, True Divine 44, Facebook, True Divine 44, and The True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes, comments, greatly appreciated. And much love to everybody who is doing that thus far. I appreciate you all. It's 11:11 today of the 2020 year. That has been some kind of year for sure. And I just want to bring you something that I bring to you on a daily basis, but hopefully a message that will really resonate with you guys today, with it being 11:11. It's a very powerful combination of numbers, and we can use the energies that are very powerful today for one way or another, for good and bad, to harness the best day that we possibly can. So this is what I do. I combine the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to bring you, and intuitive work that I do, I suppose, to bring you a narrative that will help you on your day. Take what resonates as it is general and leave what does not. So for the 11th of November 2020, we've got on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. And so the Queen of Swords is a queen that takes no shit, basically, but she does it with style, in that she can seem a bit reserved, an energy that is a bit held back. This is because the Queen of Swords is a thinker. She is of intellect, intelligence, discernment. And to be on the throne in the Suit of Swords in Tarot, she has gone through it. She's witnessed things, she's discerned things, she's learned a lot of harsh lessons. And so it's wisdom that she stands back for in the energy of today, that she is a bit withheld from. She is in a more observant energy. And so we can take that and for it to be a powerful source of wisdom for us today, to be more observant, share your truth, share your knowledge, but be very discerning about where you share it and how much energy you put into doing that. Other than that, you know, to observe and really discern, really cut through any veils with that sword of truth, to see what is beyond the veils that people are creating. And that's in your individual lives and on the collective stage, of course. So on the bottom of the other deck, we have the King of Swords. So we have the matching pair of the divine feminine in the energy of the Queen of Swords and the divine masculine in the King of Swords on the bottom of the other deck. So this is a very powerful combination of, it is to harness your discernment, your intellect, your mind, but also heed the warning that, like the King of Swords, having authority over his mind, having real high levels of discernment and intellect, to also harness that, rather than being sucked into and having your mind hijacked, which is trying, the energies around are trying to do this in a great deal, in various different ways. So we do need to harness the energy of the divine feminine in the Queen of Swords and the divine masculine in the King of Swords, and take authority over our mind, over our thoughts, our discernment, the things that we think manifest into our reality. So also to share the obvious truths, the things that need to be spoken about, but to have a positive mindset regarding it also, so that you can add to the higher frequency that is being put into the ether through all of this mind work that is going on right now. Minds are in overdrive. Thinking is in overdrive, like I said at the start of the reading, for better and for worse. And so you guys be the ones that, you know, are for the better and keep that frequency high. So we have the Seven of Wands for the first card. So you see this, again, divine feminine energy protecting her stock from rats. And I believe in the Chinese, this is the year of the rat. The rat is cunning, it works together. You can see in this card, they're working together to get the straws, to get the provisions, to get the things that people need in that village, in that family, or just for yourself, to take away from it. And she's having to be quite passionate with it, with fire, protective of what is hers. In this card, she's not giving up the battle. She's standing her ground, but that's not to say that there is one of her and many of the rats. And many of the rats, all of the rats are working together. So that makes them even more cunning and powerful in order to besiege her. So it's important to recognize these energies all around us from the collective stage predominantly, but of course that leaks into our individual lives, where we are coming across people who want to hijack our thoughts, our provisions, our creativity, trying to take away from us. We need to see that we are on the higher ground by looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe if you find that you're on the defense today and you're finding it exhausting, you're finding it difficult to balance out, to transmute, to take the energy of that Queen of Swords and that King of Swords on the underlying, the underpinning energy of this reading, and to be in a more observant place from your throne, to be more discerning about who you are around. There are some sneaky little bastards around right now, and we need to be discerning about having them not close to us, because they would take from us as soon as look at us. Now we have to clarify that we have the Empress, the lovely Empress card, another divine feminine energy. So the Empress is that of the thoughts, the words and the deeds that we think, speak out and do, create our reality. So if we are thinking about conflict, if we are worried and in fear about conflict, if we are in a place of defensiveness, then that is what we are going to manifest. We are going to manifest the many rats that you see here, with this lady having to defend what is hers and her family's from. So to be careful to harness your mind, harness your thoughts, harness your words, and harness your deeds carefully and productively. And because ultimately you're going to be attracting in the energies that you put out. So that's a super important message for today. Take some time out to just be with you, if that's the best that you can do. If you can't find the people around you that are of a higher frequency, that are taking this message today, to really think about what they're thinking about, really think about what they're speaking of, and to really think about what their deeds are, then you're better off having some time to yourself today, really transmuting that energy, doing some breath work, doing some meditation, doing some organization, and continuously harnessing the power and authority of the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords to have power and authority over your thoughts, over your words, and over your deeds. So the next card is the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Chalices. So you see here, this is the beautiful, compassionate Queen. She is in absolute control of her emotions, in her uplifted state, in her exalted state. But we have here and she relies on her intuition most of all, and compassion. One of the beautiful ladies that listened to me and has become friends with me on here, Deborah, has continuously said she's been picking up on her intuition of people needing to remember the compassion, people needing to remember their intuitiveness and their compassionate nature towards others, now more than ever. And I couldn't say it better myself. It is an energy that we're being reminded of with this Queen of Cups coming up, this Queen of Chalices, many, many times leading up to today. But we have her clarified with the Devil. And so there are things that are still chaining you emotionally, that are maybe making you react in this defensive mode. maybe making you manifest the need to be defensive through this Empress card, because there are still emotional chains, emotional cords that are limiting your ability to be in control of your emotions rather than they be in control of you. And so to think about that carefully, wherever you are getting triggered today, as an uncomfortable lesson of wisdom as it is at times, there is something within it that then you need to look within as to why you are getting triggered. What emotional cord or actual chain is chaining you to this devil, to chaining you to your lower frequency, where you would manifest the need to be defensive, where you would manifest the need to be triggered, angry. So wherever you are being triggered, that is a gift. It is something for you to dig into through your waters, through your inner waters, like the Queen of Cups, not being afraid to really honestly look at it and face yourself with yourself, to see where you can dig out and where you can break and take a chain breaker to those chains that are still limiting your ability to reach your highest potential in your intuition today, in your channeling of your emotions rather than them channeling you today. So that's an important message. A few people are suffering with drinking a bit too much. And I know even statistically, as much as you believe statistics, but I do believe the local shop owners that I know in my area who are having to clear shelves just to order in more alcohol because the sales of alcohol has gone through the roof. Now, of course, yes, that is because the pubs are shut here, but also it is because people have got too much time with themselves, and they're not used to that. They're uncomfortable with that. They're uncomfortable about sitting in their emotions and learning how to channel their emotions. So if you're being challenged and that is one of your chains, i.e., drinking too much, then, really look at detoxing, really look at being honest with yourself as to what you are masking, what you are covering up with this need for alcohol. What are you putting a plaster over that isn't really working for you? It's still manifesting conflict into your life one way or the other. So that's just a message for maybe one or two or a few people. I've been noticing that energy coming up, and it seems to be a side effect of the tyrannical things that are going on from the collective stage. Obviously, from the collective stage, we see a lot of magic, a lot of trickery, the propaganda, the wording, harnessing the energy of the devil and chaining us where they know we've been conditioned to be triggered, where we've conditioned to be reactive in a certain way. So be important to not give them what they want. Find it important to not give them what they want. Think about it, discern it, control it. We don't want to give them anything of what they want right now. So we see that the third card is the Five of Swords, another card that's kept coming up, particularly in this deck. Well, no, not particularly in this deck. I would say most of the decks I've been using. Yeah, it's kept coming up. So it is a nasty card. It's a card of conflict. It's a card of people being punished. You can see here, you can see it better there, maybe. I feel like a puppet show going along with the puppet to get a better light. So you see here, you've got like this authority figure who is of a different skin color. And you see these people being trapped in enslavement. There's been a conflict, they didn't win. There are no real winners in this game, because this authority figure, thinks he is ascending, but he's ascending in lower frequency. I know which I would choose, but right now there are people suffering. There are people falling for the tricks. There are people being affected by others that are falling for the tricks. And the cuffs are getting a bit tighter on a lot of people around the world right now regarding these tyrannical authority figures, so-called leaders, doing these steps that are so scripted and so timed to chain people even more, to tighten those cuffs, tie hands behind backs even tighter, to stop them even using the weapons of their mind. So they're entrapping the mind. And that's what we see right now in the collective stage. We also see, because a lot of you are ascending through this and doing exactly what you're meant to do, you're challenging yourself with the energies of each day, and you're working your way through them. And with that, you're doing so much inner work, which is awesome. But we will see that even in our individual lives, and it's a sad thing, but it happens, that we have people around us that are uncomfortable with that, because they have not challenged themselves adequately in the energies that have been given. They have not been ascending through doing the inner work. They have not been exploring their inner self and balancing themselves out and making themselves whole. So you will find that even in your individual life, a lot of you are feeling the tightening of the cuffs, the tying behind the backs, the options narrowing down with the people around you, and some of you, the people that are closest to you. And this is so difficult. I do know it's so difficult. And that's where we have to be the Queen of Swords. And we have to be quite cutthroat and discerning about what we will allow around us. Because the wisdom is that with this Hangman, again, another recurrent card, clarifying this Five of Swords here, we see that we have to look at things from a different perspective. We have to be enlightened to the truth. The Hangman is enlightenment to truth. He hangs upside down just to see things from a different perspective. Now, for me, the Hangman makes me laugh, because I always say they flip the script, they hijack the script, and they flip the script in this realm. And they did that a long time ago. And so everything from history to education, they've flipped the script. It's all upside down, to the matriarch coming after the patriarch. It's all upside down. The Hangman has the ability to literally hang upside down, to see the script in the order that it should be written in. The order that works for the many and not just the few. And so there's a lot to see in our individual lives from a different perspective, either to not be upset by and defensive in these energies, but warrior-like and challenging those energies to give you everything that you can learn from them. Also to see the people around us in enlightenment, in reality of how they really are, and whether they do match our frequency or not. So take what resonates from this. It's a powerful, powerful reading for those that can harness these energies today in the day of 11/11. For those that can harness these energies today, this is another leveling up, a freedom from chains that have bound you for a long time, chains that you maybe have forgotten that were even there. But this helps you see, this gives you the enlightenment as to where those chains are, where they came from, and how to dig them out, what actions you need to take to dig them out and free yourself from, liberate yourself from that restriction, from that limitation. So it's an awesome day for those who want to take it as it is and harness the energies as they are. The dog's breathing heavily. That's nothing funny going on in the background. It's just the dog breathing she can smell something under the door. So if you'd like a personal reading with me, you can hit me up at truedivinemedia@gmail.com. Same goes for any spiritual guidance or any energy workout sessions. We can also hook up by you messaging me on Facebook at Private Messenger, on my business page, True Divine 44. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Bitchute, True Divine 44, or The True Divine for the Instagram and Twitter. I appreciate you all. I love you all so much. And I just want to say today, on the day of 11/11, because I know, one second, I know a lot is going on. I should have turned that off, sorry. I know a lot is going on, and we are being challenged to ascend to our greatest heights in the dark, fertile ground that we're being plummeted into. And we hit on some heavy subjects in some readings, and we hit on some real light subjects in some readings. I always try and bring a positive spin of how you can hook into these energies and harness them for your best. But I just want to say that you guys that come and listen, um, whether you leave comments or not, but the guys that leave comments too, and that I speak to via email, the new clients that I have that are coming to me for all three of the sessions that I offer here, I just appreciate you all so much. And I put so much intent over your lives to say that you harness your days for all that they're worth, and they are filled with beauty, and that you are filled with strength, fortitude, and an inner knowing, a growing intuition. And I thank you for allowing me to be included in that, and to find out how you guys are getting on and just build relationship. That has been one of the beautiful things, one of the many beautiful things about 2020, in that tribe members are finding their tribe members. Um, there's been friendships for life built. There's been lessons learned from people who've left people's circles, including mine. And it has been a special time for that. And it's important that we take time out to appreciate that and speak it out, and give thanks and honor each other. So I honor you all today, and appreciate you all. Much love. Mwah.